few games in the home and away season with greater significance than the Anzac Day Eve clash that has recently become a rival fixture between Richmond and Melbourne. Obviously, Anzac Day, Essendon Collingwood is the big one, but I think the spectacle that's become of the Anzac Day Eve clash has really grown in the last few years, and it's only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And as Melbourne got better, the competition got better, and now we're almost in the boat, or actually, no, we're definitely in the boat of we're catching back up to Melbourne. So it's definitely had its ups and downs over the last few years. We're in for a real interesting clash, to say the least. Monday night against the D's, it's going to be a real tough fight. Obviously, Max Gawn, Jake Lever, Michael Hibberd, all back into the side for the D's, which, I mean, they couldn't have left Gawn out for one more week, especially with our ruck problems at the moment. It couldn't have come probably at a worse time, but it's all right. There's things that we can look at for this game that can help us win. There's things that we're going to avoid doing, which we've done in the past. So I'll dive into the game itself. Like I said, it's a really significant game. It means a lot, not only for us as fans, but the players, no doubt, to be involved in. It means so much, Anzac Day, to us as Australians and the culture around it. So the significance doesn't really need to be touched on too much more. I mean, the coverage over the weekend is already massive enough, so we know all about that. But the game itself, we're clearly the underdogs. We're not playing good football at the moment, not the football we want to be playing, the football we expect to be playing with some of the people we have in the team. And again, I think the midfield battle this week is going to be super important, and it has been in the past as well, but this week again, because with Max Gawn back in as a number one ruckman, we've got Max Gawn and Brodie Grundy to compete with, and no other of our top three ruckmen are playing at the moment. They're all injured, so we're going to be relying on blokes that don't normally play ruck to get the job done, like a Ben Miller again. Who else? Samson Ryan will go through there, obviously. So we've got these options, but they're not our premier ruckman, let alone competition premier ruckman like Gawn and Grundy are. So our midfielders are going to have to work twice as hard this week, which they haven't lived up to the expectation we've been hoping in terms of the amount of clearances and contested football that we're winning. Obviously, we're getting a lot of the ball, but I think the centre clearance aspect is something we've never really been great at, and heading into this year hasn't improved like we thought it probably would. So that's something we really need to work on this week. I think if we can win a lot of football in the centre and at least give our forwards a chance, then that's going to be half the battle right there, because I think that's where it's going to be won and lost, is in the midfield. And I know that's the easy thing to say, but for me it's the obvious one, especially with the inclusion of Max Gawn back into the team for Melbourne. So it's going to be really interesting for us. We've got Jaden Short back into the team, and that's a massive in. I mean, he's so versatile. You can put him in the midfield if you need to. He plays off the half-back famously. He can go as a forward. We've seen him kick goals. He's done it against the D's before, where he's kicked goals. So he's a big in for us, but we've still got some massive outs, some really important outs, but we can't focus on those, because at the end of the day, as much as it sucks and as much as we're playing a lot of youth at the moment, we've still got to win these games of football. And yes, after Melbourne, we've got a one or two easier games. Not that I think any game in the AFL is easy anymore, but one or two easier games. But we've got to focus on this one. And it's a tough task at hand, to say the least. It's going to be difficult. I think Melbourne's backline is obviously so strong. You know, you got Lever down there, you got Stephen May down there, two of the best backmen in the competition. And then you look at our forward line, and we've got a guy that's played 5 games in Samson Ryan, you know, is your key forward. Jack Rewalt's obviously experienced, but is he going to back up 4 goals from last weekend? It's hard to say with Jack. He's at that age now where you just don't know anymore. And, you know, it's sometimes unfortunate to say, but that's just the way it is. He's at that age where you expect, you know, the effort will be there. There's no problem there, but the performance isn't going to be the same week in, week out, like you might get with someone who's in their mid-20s compared to their mid-30s, where Jack's probably sitting around now. So it's going to be a tough battle in the forward line as well. But I mean, we've got these guys that can compete. You've got Shea Bolton that we expect such big things from. You've got Noah Cumberland. I almost forgot that. You got Noah Cumberland as well, who's been, you know, lighting the forward line up as well. So we've got excitement and electricity down there. We've just got to find a way to gel it all together and make it actually happen. So it's going to be tough. We know that. Our back line's held up really well. Ben Brown out of the side really helps us. He's still not playing. Tom McDonald got dropped, which was a surprising one for me. I thought with the absence of Ben Brown, you would keep McDonald, but they've opted for the smaller forward line, Melbourne. So hopefully we can take advantage of that with some of our back line, because you've got blokes like Grimes and Bolter who can probably play on smaller forwards as well, so they don't necessarily need to be on these big guys. Tyler Young's doing a really good job as well down there. He's one of the highest rated backmen, I think, in the comp for think he's number 1 for 1%ers, and he's number 6 for one-on-ones, and he's doing really well. For a guy that's played 5-6 games, he's killing it. So it's not all, obviously the performances aren't great, the what we're seeing doesn't look amazing, but it's not all doom and gloom. Like, I think we've got a lot going for us, so it's just putting it together. Like, you look at the Sydney game, for example, last week, as disappointing as that was, three-quarter time, it's anybody's game. You know, they ran away in the last, obviously, and we saw what happened to them against Geelong this weekend, so who knows where Sydney are at, but we're not that far out of some of these games, and we're just not doing the little things right, and it's all the simple stuff, like hitting a target, you know, make decision-making. It's not things that can't be fixed, and I think that's the beauty about Richmond, is the things that we're doing wrong and the mistakes that we're making aren't things that are ingrained in us and can't be changed. They're all little things that can be, you know, flick of a switch and they're changed. So hopefully we can start to see a bit of that this week, because we've got a massive task coming up against the D. So it's going to be interesting. In terms of our lineup, Jaden Short came into the side. Sonzi and Ralph Smith both omitted, which I was really surprised with. I'm not aware who the sub is. It's probably been announced and I've missed it somewhere, but I'm not sure who the medical sub will be. We might find out on the day. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really know what else to say about this one. It's going to be a tough game. We all know that. There's a lot of negativity swirling around Richmond at the moment, and people saying we're done and all that. And look, who knows what this season holds for us, but I think you've got to look into the development of these young kids that we've been getting. I think that's the positive and the upside to where our season's taken us. So that's pretty much it. One more thing before I do go is I had a delivery in the mail yesterday. I don't know if you can see it there. We got the Pressure Point hoodie. It is very, very comfortable. It's lightweight. It's not too heavy. It's lightweight, very comfortable. I'll throw this bad boy on. Perfect for the colder months. Now we're heading into winter. Very simple, very plain, very elegant, I like to think. Pressure Point and small writing there. So if you haven't, jump across to the Pressure Point page now. Pick up a hoodie. As I mentioned in the last video, there are some Tiger Den t-shirts in the work as well. So keep your eyes peeled for those. Maybe a hoodie, who knows? But t-shirts for now I know are definitely in the work. So keep an eye out for those. But that's it. That's all we got for the Melbourne preview. Hope you enjoy the game. If you're going, let me know. It'd be awesome to hear what you guys think of the spectacle. I've been the last few years in a row now, and I love going. It's one of the most anticipated games for me to get to. From what it means from the Anzac perspective, and also the spectacle of the show beforehand, and then the game itself. There's so much feeling to it. So hopefully we can put up a good performance and surprise a few people. Who knows? It's going to be it's going to be an interesting watch, and hopefully not a horrible night for us. So we'll see how we go. But that's pretty much all I've got. Like I said, jump across into the Pressure Point link in the bio if you want to buy some merch. We've got the hoodies, like I said, they've just released. They're very comfortable. I'm loving this one. I'll show you on the camera. You probably can't see, but it's very fluffy in here as well, so it's going to keep me very warm over winter. But I'll see you all for the Melbourne review video. Hopefully we're talking about a very surprise Richmond win, but if not, we'll talk about the positives, negatives, and we'll dissect it together. So until then, enjoy the game and go Tigers.